Gotta love scaling to monster girls now, don't you? This is just my little drawing trademark I put into all my drawings. Gotta put the ribs in somewhere. Drawing cartoons, drawing anime, it can be fun if you know what you're doing and you've practiced a lot of times. Mistake. Yeah, one of the arms a little longer than the other, but I think because one one's behind. Yeah, that one's a bit long. Fix this up in a minute. Better. So I want it. Next ones, those are my favorites. And Aldi was selling a whole bunch of these ones for a while. I think these ones are my better ones. The Copics are good too. They're a bit more expensive though. Get some color into this. Yeah, we're finally getting some colors in, yes. If I get away with it, I'm drawing hearts everywhere. Doing this one-handed is not easy. There's my Scarlet Red from the Aldi's graphic marker. It's from the Creative Collection line. I'm using the rocks. Alright, here we are. The music's random, it wasn't chosen properly, it was something Mum was playing, decided to leave it on. So it's got nothing to do with the drawing. Though I did need some music in the background. Skellington Monster Girl. Spooky Cat Girl. Emphasis on the spooky. If anyone asks, I live in Australia, and that's all you're getting. Okay, Sydney. So, yes, I know a lot of anime, actually. I think I know more than Anime America. No, that's not right. I only know what gets to Australia, the anime there. Though I haven't watched, well, I've watched a really big collection of anime and cartoons over the years. I've read a lot of manga and cartoons and comics. Watched a lot of cartoons, anime stuff. So my collection ranges huge. Huge collection. A bit of a hoarder. Until now I realize. Trying to do things one-handed, while holding the phone with the other. Let's use a bit of cloud cream. That's the color. Maybe using, these are my better markers. They're no longer the graphic ones, they're the, you can see, mixed marker. I haven't been playing with my markers as much. I mostly do with the iPad now, like I sketch and then I work more on with the iPad. But every once in a while I want to do my traditional stuff. Like I gotta figure out some more Christmas card ideas I gotta work on. Use the other end. These markers have two ends to them. So far, so good with the coloring. I'm going to experiment a little bit to see what works for you too, you know. It changes depending. No artist is exactly the same, man. Each one does things differently. This one's Warm Grey 07. careful. Markers bleed when they're on the certain sort of papers. Sometimes you want them to bleed, and other times you do not, depending on the artist. I like my markers to bleed on the paper, because then they can get rid of all pencil lines for starters. So I do my pen stuff last, because markers will bleed over everything. They like to bleed. Always best to do the light colors first, and then leave all your dark colors last, because it will bleed. Especially the dark colors, they love to bleed everywhere. They take over everything. So you gotta be really careful how you do it. I mean, markers can be fun. Know what you're doing. The last thing you want to put in. If you can believe I started out as a traditional artist mostly. I work at a rehabilitation hospital during my evenings. So on days off I like to do some traditional stuff, but if I have to work I will just do some sketches and then fix them up later on the iPad, because I don't always have the time to do what I want, because my art does not pay for me, because I am too unknown. The YouTube has this whole thing going on, you better not be doing things for kids thing, or whatever the hell. And I'm like, I don't draw for anyone specifically, I just draw because I like to, and it's relaxing. It helps keep my attention deficit disorder distracted from a stressful day. Drawing really helps that, actually. Most mine with my attention deficit disorder because I stress a lot, and drawing is relaxing for me, so. Not that I really draw anything adult, but I'm just doing that this in case. Tumblr's very weird. I mean, not Tumblr. YouTube is very weird. Maybe I should say it's okay for kids. I don't know. I'm not specifically drawing for kids, because I draw whatever manga anime I come across. Some of it's not little kitty stuff, I guess, but I don't really draw anything adult. So I'll just say it's not for kids because I'm not drawing it for anyone in particular. Because good lord, I don't want to be sued for drawing, for heaven's sakes. I think Anime America already talked about that too, actually. I think we're gonna... That's someone I described to. You really should check them out, they're fun. They mostly cover anime that's gotten to America, really, so I don't know if they would be able to tell you if something got to Australia or not. Though from what I hear when Robin talks, she sounds like she's living in Australia now, but I don't know, and I don't feel like I should ask anything personal. Because, you know, they don't know me, I don't know them personally, so it's probably not my place to ask. But they seem to know a pretty good collection of anime manga that comes out. Although I have not seen them do any of the old school anime reviews. They've only done like Inuyasha with them, yeah, well that was the popular one, but what about, you know, some of the other really old school ones like Blackjack? Oh god, I love that series. Blackjack was awesome. I love that one. My teen years were full of Blackjack comics. I would look everywhere for the manga. I have some of the anime somewhere too. Though I don't know if it's circulating anymore, but I love Blackjack. And I liked a lot of funny Skellington-like cartoons, you know, let me think. I didn't all just go for Disney all the time, though. I mean, no offense, I mean, everyone can like Disney as much as they like, but there's a lot of darkness in there somewhere. Like, I've heard not such much nice rumors. There's a lot of bad rumors circulating them, so they make great movies and stuff, but there's lots of dark rumors hanging out about them. And if you really look at it, you're like, it's shocking. It's part of the reason Mom doesn't want to have anything to do with Disney anymore that much. It was funny. So funny. So we don't have Disney much in our household, except maybe if the movie's good enough, but we don't want to be big supporters of Disney, so we're definitely not getting Disney Plus. Because they're getting very greedy. And apparently there's a lot of bad rumors going on about Disney. I don't know how true it is, because people lie on the internet all the time, which is sad. So sad. Should I shut that? Why did I shut that? Sorry. Just trying to hold this an open thing one-handed is not easy, so I have to move some things around. Where's my pick? Here it is. It's not finished yet. Now, most of these markers, they usually have like a big flat end for, like, you know, you can flip, or this end. This end's, but you have to be very gentle with it because these things are sensitive. And unless you can spend a whole lot of money just to replace the tips, yes, markers are expensive. Like, if you can get them cheap, I suppose you could, but some of the really good ones, like these ones, these guys are pretty good. They're not the most, they weren't cheap, as you can see. Art Scene is one of my favorite art shops. I highly recommend checking you out if you live in Sydney, Australia. Check out the Art Scene shop. They are good. They've got a good supply of art stuff. And they also can frame pictures if you ever want them to do that. So they're not cheap, but they've got some good art supplies, so I would recommend them. And usually art students work there, so you know you're supporting your regular art students of the community. It's not finished yet. Now let's see. Do I use this one? Outline. Yeah. To bring out my lines. So I have my Instagram and my Tumblr gets more updates, I think. This is when I can actually have the time to film myself drawing something. I love cartoons and anime and all sorts of things. I'm a bit of a animations, I suppose. Cartoon animations. What would you call someone who likes both cartoons and anime and sort of likes watching films in that regard? Although, just to be honest, a few cartoons they put mostly for adults I am not all that fond of. Like, maybe I can tolerate The Simpsons, they're alright. Rick and Morty, I'm not even sure if I can like that or not. I mean, I believe the fans that say it's good are just not my thing. Family Guy annoys me because how women are treated in that show was not always very nice. Don't even get me started on American Dad, I can't even stand that. But I mean, I'm not going to stop other people from enjoying it, it's their thing, but it's just, I can't stand it. Although, what was that orange cartoon I liked? It was in my teens. Was it Dire? No. You know, I used to go la 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 la. Damn it, I can't think off the top of my head anyway. You know, they had like Six Sad World in there and everything. I think it was based, that character was in the Beavis and Butthead show. I didn't like that one, but it was too much of crude American humor for my liking, but not my kind of cup of tea. But the spin-off show where it had the other character when she moved out of town with her family, I liked that one. My mom actually liked it too. We would sit down and watch it together, and my mom only usually likes when it comes to cartoons and anime and stuff. She usually is more like for Studio Ghibli sort of movies and stuff. She's not too big on the cartoon things, but she's very supportive, so if she wants to watch something like that with me, should be more Studio Ghibli type sort of thing. Nah, Murray, you're too early. Sorry, that's my cat. It's his bell. You can hear him in the background with his bell. Murray? Oh, Murray. No. No, it's too early for your feeding time. Your feeding time's at 5. And you had one this morning. Sorry, kitty break. We'll call that a kitty break. As soon as I finish drawing this, I gotta go feed the cats. This video's getting longer than I expected. Gotta make the ribs show up a bit better. It's like Skellington-like characters. Like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy is definitely more my cup of tea, and Invader Zim, but I cannot stand Family Guy. Yeah, my brother-in-law likes it. I don't. But I mean, everyone to each their own. I mean, I can't handle South Park. Mum and I watched one episode and we couldn't watch it again. It wasn't our cup of tea, but then again, as I said, that's the only thing I know of that sort of represents America mostly. That's all they all represent, these cartoons. And it's good because, I mean, they come from America, they do what they know, but you know, when you live in Australia and you grew up here, you kind of wish they would do something more about Australia every once in a while. Because I'm kind of sick and tired of the only thing people seem to get from Australia is some weird movies of an impression, or Crocodile Hunt actually wasn't that bad of a movie series. It was funny, but I mean, people are so uninformed about Australia. Hence, usually, from what I hear, the Brits have Home and Away and Neighbours. Weird soap operas that have been running here since the 80s. The 80s? They've been running for that long of a time. I have to go charge my phone soon. Yeah, I'd rather use the pen last to put out all the lines when it comes to working with markers, because markers bleed. Unless you have like a special pen that won't bleed with your markers, I would recommend doing your sketch first, then do the marker lines in, and then that. But I mean, every artist is different. They like to do things differently. No artist is the same. I like to do things a certain way, and I can be very stubborn, so others have good tips. If you're still learning and you're starting, then maybe you should follow their advice. But if you've been doing this for a long while and you just want some tips to try and get a little bit better, try to look up different artists and see if any of their tips will be helpful or not. It's always good to have some good reference artists to tell you their way of doing things, I guess. But I mean, you've got to mix and match and see which tips work the best for you and not. But if you're starting out, it's more likely you might want to use something as guidelines. So I mean, we all had to start somewhere. As I said, I watched a lot of anime and cartoons over the years, so I got a bit of an idea on how to draw. Them. It's not as easy as it looks to draw. Took a long time to get this good. Yeah, I could never really understand why people liked reality shows all that much. Unless it was like Lego Masters, which is good. I recommend that one. The Australian version was fun to watch. I didn't get a chance to watch the British version. Okay, good so far. What we need, a little eye shine of a white spot. To do that, I have this lovely pen here. It's a white paint thing, I think. I picked this up at the art scene. I'm not sure where else you could get it. Pigment ink recap. It's a brilliant little thing. Let me do this. I only use it for... Sometimes it does blend in, so you have to be careful how you use it. And there you go. 'Tis about done. I gotta go charge this phone in a minute. But there you go. Done.